Hey everybody, and welcome back to Enemy Archives, where enemies from the Legend of Zelda series are brought into the light. Some of you may remember the featured enemy from last episode, the Dodongo. Well, this time we'll be looking at a fairly similar enemy, although this one is far less well known. Today's featured enemy is the Kodongo. Kodongos look like smaller versions of Dodongos, but they have more protection on their heads. Kodongos only appear in a few games, without ever having appeared in a 3D title. So, let's dive into today's episode. Enemy Archives Kodongos. A Link to the Past. While A Link to the Past made a massive impact on the Zelda series as a whole, it seems Kodongos hid as far as they could from the spotlight. And honestly, that's about exactly what they did, since they took up residence in the dungeon known as the Palace of Darkness. Kodongos are found in large numbers in a dark room in this dungeon shaped into a maze by small barriers. While Link cannot cross these walls, Kodongos can attack over them, making this the ideal habitat for these enemies. Kodongos actually come in two varieties, green and red, but there is nearly no difference between the two besides location. The green Kodongos are found in the Palace of Darkness, while red Kodongos can be found in the Tower of Hera, where they are significantly less common. It's possible that green Kodongos get their green exterior from a lack of sunlight, similar to the green bokoblins from Skyward Sword, but that's just speculation. Kodongos are rather simple opponents, though they have some unusual defenses. For starters, they only attack by shooting a few fireballs every so often, which stick behind for a moment before disappearing. Link will take damage if he runs into a Kodongo, or if he touches the fire they shoot, so it's best to time your attacks carefully. Speaking of attacks, Kodongos are immune to bombs and boomerang attacks, most likely due to their tough shell. However, sword strikes and arrows are still effective, as well as various other weapons such as the hammer and the magic rods. With these various weaknesses and strengths, Kodongos are definitely some interesting enemies. A Link Between Worlds. A little over 20 years later, Kodongos came back to the series. They carried over almost everything from the last game, from the green and red variants to their small reptilian appearance. However, a few things changed when they came to A Link Between Worlds. For starters, the Kodongo's standard flame attack was changed from multiple fireballs to a steady stream of fire. This can be slightly harder to avoid, but it's not much more dangerous than the original move. Another small difference is that Kodongos no longer are immune to bombs and boomerang attacks. Perhaps they lost some of the toughness they had before, but in any case, Link now has a few more options. Besides those changes, Kodongos remained mostly the same as before. Triforce Heroes. Kodongos came to Triforce Heroes with the same look as in A Link Between Worlds. However, while most enemies were simply copied over, Kodongos got two major improvements. The first improvement was made to their fire attack. While normally it would simply damage Link and cause him to flinch, now the Kodongo fire will set the Link's clothes aflame. Any Link caught in this attack will be sent running around out of control until he can extinguish the flames, but during this time, it is likely that something else may damage the Link. The other major improvement was made to red Kodongos. While they previously liked to hang around in hot places, now they can actually swim in the lava they like so much. This provides cover for them when they aren't attacking, so now the Links must have good timing if they want to hit the Kodongos. Unfortunately, as far as I know at least, there are no special variants of Kodongos. However, there are a few enemies that aren't Dodongos or Kodongos, but resemble at least one of those reptiles. So, let's go over a few of those enemies before we move on from this family completely. The first of these enemies is known as the Dodongo Snake, but surprisingly, these enemies aren't very snake-like at all. In fact, if I were to name these enemies, I'd probably call them Dodongo blob inchworms. These creatures inch around the room they are in, blocking Link's path in a dungeon. While these enemies are only harmful if Link touches them, they still pose an obstacle in Link's awakening. To defeat these Dodongo snakes, Link must use the traditional method of slaying Dodongos. Make them swallow a bomb. It takes 3 bombs to defeat a single Dodongo snake, so it's important that you don't run low. After being defeated, these enemies will drop fairies, and the path forward will be opened. Last but not least, we have a boss from Phantom Hourglass, Dodongo. This boss is part of Link's quest to acquire the 3 pure metals, and he is found in the Goron Temple. This massive monster resembles the Dodongos and Kodongos we've seen so far, but he has a rocky exterior. However, Link does not have to tackle this mountain of a boss alone. A young Goron by the name of Gongoron helps Link in this fight, and the player can take control of Gongoron instead of Link. Dodongo will attack by shooting fireballs, and then charging at full speed towards Gongoron. The trick is to keep Gongoron out of the way of these attacks, while also protecting Link from the smaller enemies who come to attack him. After that, Gongoron must wait for Dodongo to either expose his flank, or charge at full speed, smashing his head into a wall. This leaves an opening for Gongoron to knock down Dodongo, and then Link can send a bomb chew straight into the beast's open mouth. This process goes on for a while, but eventually it seems Dodongo has taken more than he can bear. A bridge appears for Link to cross, and Gongoron leaves Link to finish his job. However, just when everything seems fine, Dodongo will get back up, despite his shattered shell. Link must then battle Dodongo one more time, this time throwing bombs into Dodongo's mouth when he is charging up an attack. After 3 more successful rounds, Dodongo will finally meet his end, and Link can finally keep going on his journey. Which of these enemies would you want to fight the least? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, and subscribe before you go. You can also check out the rest of this playlist for more Zelda enemies, or you can even just check out the reptiles I've covered so far. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time you're in the Legend Zone.